Hey guys, my name is Jason, and on today's video, I need your help with something. I got this huge pile of western red cedar butts behind me. I think it's valuable to somebody, but I just don't know who. So I was hoping you guys, one of my viewers out there, could hook me up with someone who might be interested in buying a bunch of this cedar behind me and see if we can make something work. So let's go take a look at what I got, and you can see kind of the character of it, and we'll go from there. So a little bit of background here. This was logged a couple of years ago, and they bucked a lot of the butts off of these cedars, and you can see a lot of them are still solid. There's no rot in them, and they're all machine logged. And I think what they did is they took a lot of cedar poles off of here, and they don't want the butt swell on the poles, so they buck that off. But here's one that has, a little bit of rot. There's a hand for scale. That thing's probably 20 inches across at the top. That's one of the smaller ones. Here's one that's, probably, 36 inches across. But I have a literal mountain of this stuff. Some of it's huge, like that stump there is probably 48 inches across on the bottom. A lot of them average between 2 and 4 feet. That one's probably 3. That one's 2 feet. Some of the bigger ones down here, I don't know, there's one laying here that's probably 8 or 10 feet. I've got a guy with a sawmill that'll take anything over 6 feet and pay me about $1,000 for it. But I've got all this cedar, here's another piece that I don't know what to do with, and I don't want to just burn it. My first thought was a shingle mill. And here in Western Washington, there used to be shingle mills everywhere. Every valley had 10 of them in the valley. And I can't find anybody who will buy my cedar blocks. There's just not that many shingle mills around. So if you know of a shingle mill that wants a bunch of cedar blocks, I don't have any problem cutting them to spec and shipping them. But here's a good example of one somebody was playing around with a couple years ago. But there's a chunk. It's probably 8 feet. You can see it's got a little rot seam in it, and then they cut that out and got into the good wood. But here's the other half. I mean, that's a big chunk of wood there. There's lots of board feet in that chunk, those 2 chunks of wood. Or you could make a really nice tabletop out of it. Or you could pull all that rot out and fill it with epoxy. I've seen some guys do some really cool stuff with epoxy. There's probably chainsaw carvings that would be good for some of this stuff. But that's what I got. I'll take a block or something, buck off the ends, get some fresh wood, and we'll get it split so you guys can see the rings and the character of the wood here. And here you can see what it looks like with a fresh cut. And this hasn't been sanded or anything, so, I clean up quite a bit better than this. But growth rings here, early on it was growing a little slower, then it kind of picked up. But you're getting, even in the fast growth rings, you're probably getting 4 to 8 an inch. Down here you're getting quite a bit more, 10 plus. And it smells amazing. It's really, really nice wood. And, you can cut little cookies out of it. You could do patio furniture, little benches for a rustic cabin or something, end tables. I mean, there's really no end to what you can do with this stuff. I just don't have anybody who's interested. So the other thing I'll do here is let me split some, and we can look at what it looks like when it gets split. And that's what a lot of these shingle guys will want, is blocks for sawing shingles out of. Easy. And here's your shingle blocks, or what it looks like when it's split. And, you know, there's in this one, there's a little bit of rot, obviously, but that would be easy to trim out. And you can see here, let me go get a tape and we'll measure the rings here. But a lot of the shingle guys like 16, 18, or 24-inch blocks. And the tighter the rings on this, the lines you see here, the growth rings, the tighter the rings, the more valuable the wood is for shingles. And, you know, mine's not great. There's probably 3, maybe 4 an inch there. Here it's a lot better. Probably what happened is this tree was, you know, growing in the shade. It was growing pretty slow. And then they logged or thinned or something, or a tree blew down in front of it and opened it up to the light. And then it started growing real fast all the way out to here when it was cut. Let's see if I can do this here. So there's an inch, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's almost 5. And then here there's, you know, I don't know, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, there must be close to 20 here where it's tight. So there's, you know, in this block, if you're cutting shingles, this section here is probably worth a lot more than this section. So anyway, that's what I got here for these butts. This pile is, I don't know, 40 foot, 50 foot long, 20 foot wide, and maybe 15 feet tall. Oh, there's a pile. So, and you know, I don't have any use for it. I'm not going to make anything with them. There's several truckloads of them here. And like I say, I can get them cleaned up. I can buck them to whatever your specs are if you want. Get the rot out. I got a machine I can sort through them. I got an excavator and stuff. So I can kind of do whatever you want with them. But I hate to just let them go to waste or sit here and rot. So let me know. I got some other logs here. Let's go take a look at some of these other longer logs that I got. And might give you guys some ideas as well. Here's some other logs that I've picked out of a pile I was going through. And again, they're all cedar. The outside looks a little rough. A little bit of rot in the ends, but not too bad. There's lots of good wood in there. Over here, there's more. This is another little pile of butts and stuff. These are the logs that are less than 6 feet, but a lot of them are 5, 4 and 5. Some of them are pretty good size. These two here in the ends are 3 feet anyway. A lot of them are, you know, 20, 24 inches. So I've got a lot of cedar. I just don't know what to do with it. I wanted to show you what this one and this one looks like when they get bucked off and how nice that wood is still. And these two don't have any rot in the top. But one more thing I was thinking about with these longer ones, these 4 to 6 to 8 footers, is they make great fence posts or fence rails. So you could you get these split up and make fence rails out of them. So let's get this bucked off and we'll see what it looks like. So you can see there, they're nice and solid all the way through. That wood cleans up real nice. Here's the other one. This one has just a little bit of a punky spot in it. But I mean, you could make some beautiful fence posts or rails out of these. Here's a couple more piles. These are some longer ones, some bigger ones. Someone here tried to cut some boards off with a saw at one time, it looks like. But I mean, that one's probably 48 inches across at the bottom. And it goes down in the brush there 10 feet. So there's a bunch of wood there. Here's some more. I'll stand up on the stump so we can get a better view. This one here is probably 16 feet long. A lot of those down there are 6 and 8, probably 10. But I've just got cedar coming out my ears. And the problem is they're not long enough for me to send to the mill. I need at least a 16, 18 foot log to send to the mill. And these are just the leftovers. Just for a little bit of comparison, here's the log that I'm sending to the mill. A lot of these are 36 and 40 footers. Cedar, there's some fir in there as well, but cedar price is up right now, so I'm trying to get some of the dead and down wood cleaned up and sent off to the mill and get paid. But a lot of this wood looks real grimy on the outside. It's all weathered and junky, but then you get it cut and it brightens right up and it's all real nice and pretty on the inside. So it's good wood. So hopefully someone out there knows where I can get rid of some of this cedar. I think there's lots of uses for it. I just can't find anybody who wants to buy it. And I'm not creative enough and don't have time to screw around with, cutting it or making something out of it. So I'm really looking to sell the whole pile. I don't want to sell, just one or two pieces, or if you're interested, it'd have to be quite a bit of the cedar. Or if you want, one of those bigger logs you saw earlier, it'd have to be quite a bit of money to screw around with getting it hauled out and sent off one piece at a time. But anyway, there's my pile. Here's my cedar. Hopefully you guys can help me, get rid of it and send it to its new life as shingles, furniture, chainsaw carvings, whatever. So I'll have my email down in the bottom left-hand corner there. You can send me an email if you have any leads. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.